deal here. I mean, dodging G2, who seem to be on a pretty hot streak at the moment. So not only, a good win just to set yourself on the right kind of trajectory going into the next stage of the competition, but also to give yourself a far easier first round match in the top half of the knockout gauntlet tomorrow.
Well, we're going to see Justin a minute. Oh! Everybody clip. That has to be in the thousands. Justin is unreal.
That's just ridiculous. Beast Mode knew Justin was there. He positioned accordingly, and he still couldn't get the save. That was a really good shot from Justin. And the pass as well from Squishy just showed so much faith in him. He knew that Justin was going to be able to get on the end of that, but really well done. The passing plays from NRG, but what a save from Memory. Could have easily been two there, but Memory says no.
KCP came into this, 3 wins in a row for themselves, feeling all happy, feeling confident, and Justin does that.
Yeah, trying 9 game wins in a row. That's what NRG are currently on. They've dropped 1 game this group. It was the first one. They haven't looked back since.
Well, obviously Garrett trying to set up Squishy. It's always going to be a tough angle to try and set anything up from. Memory passes off to Rapid, wants to go the entire way, but that should be very, very easy. Well, you're talking about game wins. It has been very lopsided. I believe that we have only seen 1 tiebreaker between these. A lot of these, on the other hand, have been sweeps for NRG when these 2 teams come up against each other. Squishy looking for the backboard. Can follow. It's a nightmare situation right now for KCP. Just so quick. NRG darting around the field. Could have just popped out. But Squishy ready and available to cover the net.
Yeah, not a bad shot on net there from Squishy. Tough one to really time as he went for some kind of a floor pinch after getting a reset on the ball. But without a lot of momentum, the pinch is always so difficult to time perfectly. Liking what I'm seeing from NRG so far, though. They've got the hard hits. They've got the usual speed that they always bring to every RLCS X match. But we're also seeing moments where they're bringing the ball down, they're controlling it, and they're making it difficult for KCP to even get possession. Here's one play, though. KCP and Garrett just lets it go. He had 2 options there, own goal or let it roll by and hope for the best. You went for the only one that made sense.
That might be one of the most horrible positions to be in Rocket League because you just have to leave it. Everything in your body is telling you, hit the ball, get rid of this. If you touch that, that's it. You have to just hope that nobody's in position for the opposing team, and Garrett managed to hold his nerve very well. Now Beast Mode looks for Garrett, and again, Garrett makes the right decision.
Yeah, that's huge. Garrett avoiding the bump and also making the save and getting a clear ball as well. I mean, he just did everything that NRG needed to do right there. He was completely alone in defense, but it didn't matter. He's able to do it all by himself.
And Garrett pops in. He deserves a goal for what he's been doing so far. That's going to be 2-0. NRG, wow. They've not slowed down. That major win has made them even more scary.
What a read by Garrett. He's up for the ball before the ball even hit the ceiling and bounced down, and he continues air rolling perfectly to generate as much power on the ball as possible. Even though there were 2 goalkeepers, neither of them were able to make a save. And KCP proven to be the best of the bunch in the middle of this group, but not as good as NRG. Oh, that's a chance though. Memory rolls on by Justin. I think Justin may have underestimated the power on this one. Did he have a chance to? Oh no, he turned to the right, so there was not even an option. There was no moment where Justin could have deflected this one wide. Just turned to the right at the worst moment, just as the 50 was about to go down.
Yeah, and Squishy just got trapped up against the wall. There was no real way of him winning that. He's trying to at least keep the car behind the ball, but still 1 goal left for NRG to work with. And they'll expect not to be caught like that again. As it is cleared, Squishy holding the midfield. Doesn't get too much forward power, but does drop it down to Justin. Memory has to stretch. Will do so very well. I am liking the demos as well that we are getting from both teams. Trying to just get rid of the last player in the rotation. Open up some easy passing lanes. Justin doing what he does best, though. Trying to create those passing lanes all by himself. Always have to respect him when he takes the air. Teams usually lucky if they only have to send 1 player. Pass over to Justin off the post. And that is huge for KCP.
Yeah, it should have been a goal, really. I think the pass was absolutely perfect. Justin usually scores from those kind of positions. And, KCP are delighted to see it hit the post, but they could easily be still losing this by 2, maybe even 3. I think NRG have had a hand in not only that miss, but their own goal that they conceded here. And, you know, should this game somehow go to OT, NRG will be devastated because they played so well here. Double commit leads into another NRG attacking play. Squishy doesn't make contact, but the entire defense expected him to, so NRG are going to continue with the possession anyway. Just less than a minute to go. NRG just have to be careful. They've made a couple of mistakes, but they're still winning, and it's been a comfortable game for them overall.
Yeah, they just got to remind themselves of the current scoreline, know that exactly what they're doing right now is perfect. Haven't been giving up too much. As you mentioned, the only goal they conceded really was, I'm not going to say fluky, but it's not a situation NRG will find themselves in all too often, as long as they play the situations well. This one, however, required a block from the goalkeeper, and now NRG look to break away. Garrett will just be able to leave it, and Squishy, well, the old school goals, hit it from your own side of the field.
Yeah, KCP are all advanced and, you know, rightfully so, trying to get a late equalizer here. Chances have been few and far between in this game, so it makes sense that they would all be this aggressive in the closing seconds of the game. Getting it on the counter-attack does happen on occasion. It's, you know, just something that comes with the risk. And, you know, Garrett was trying to secure that goal more than steal it. I think from his POV, it looked like it was savable, so not a goal steal there by any means. NRG do end up taking game number 1. But it wasn't as easy as it should have been. The fact that this was a 1-goal game for so long does surprise me, because NRG's offense looked incredibly scary, and the only goal for KCP did come from an NRG mistake. So really, it's just all NRG right now. They're the ones who are choosing what's going to happen in this series.
Yeah, NRG were in full control over game number 1 and could have easily been 4 or 5 goals to their names. Just didn't end up going that way. The good news for them, though, is that they are in full control, as previously mentioned. As for KCP, they've got some ideas at the moment. I think they need to be a little bit more efficient, though, with where they're trying to clear to, because there's a lot of these shots that are just going straight for the middle. I don't tend to mind those, but you've got to hit them well. You've got to force the person in the midfield to really have to stretch and offset where they would prefer to try and hit that ball. Instead, when you get these light hits into midfield, it's just retake the ball, we'll go right back on attack. You're not really doing anything to affect us.
Yeah, this is now a chance for NRG to just show their dominance again, but at the same time, there were a few moments at the end of this game that KCP will maybe be trying to capitalize on if they happen again. I think I saw a double commit from NRG in the offensive third. There was, of course, the risky outside of the ball dribble from Squishy, where Justin's also pressing up his third man. So it wasn't a perfect performance defensively for NRG. They have, you know, tilted 1 or 2 times in the distant past of an RLCS Season X when these things happen. But as long as NRG can just make sure that they play such a clean start of the game as they did in Game 1, this should be just fine for them. I think a sweep is very likely if they keep up this level of play.
Squishy taking his time. Rapid electing not to try and attack him too quickly. Instead, stays downfield. Can't get it off the flip reset. It's going to require a block, and Justin does provide exactly that. Now the pass to Memory has to avoid a diving in challenge from Garrett. And just hand it away. Rapid so determined to keep pressure on. He didn't quite know where that ball was going to. Another pinch that slightly catches NRG out. Pass to Garrett. Good challenge from Memory. He's been very active so far on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And he's been very, very needed.
Yeah, Memory's saves kept KCP in Game 1 for a long time. It could have been 2, could have been 3 goal advantage for NRG had it not been for Memory's heroics. And he's been showing up huge all season long in that role, as well as many others. For me, the most consistent player on this roster. And they need him now more than ever, because NRG are the best team in the region. There isn't really a question about that, especially with Rogue losing twice today. The main competition, some would say. But Rogue do tend to struggle in the earlier stages of these competitions. Memory
tries to clear again, buy his team a bit of time, but he's still all by himself. Finally, reinforcements do arrive.
Oh,
it feels like it's almost there. We keep seeing this offense continuously trying to find the bump on the goalkeeper. It's the 3rd time they've gone for it, and they still haven't quite managed to wipe them out.
Yeah, Garrett was just out of range there. Good pre-jump save by Justin, and solid distance on the clear as well. Justin several times this series already, has bought his team an awful lot of time with his defensive touches. I think all of NRG have taken their turns doing this. They're playing a very good full rotational style. Now here comes Squishy, snipes the bottom left corner, and NRG are 1-0 up again.
This is what you love to see from Squishy. Immediately in there. If you're going to stay back, you've got to be ready for these chances. So many teams we see just don't have the ability to pull the trigger and send the third man for that sort of shot. Squishy, no issues with that, or the confidence to get ready to go. And NRG right back in the lead. And still looking just as dominant as they were earlier. Rapid looks to try and change that quickly, and Justin just twists his car into a pretzel to find some angle to get rid of it.
Yeah, I do like a Justin pretzel, one of my favorite kinds. What defense from NRG. There haven't been any moments up until now in this game where they've looked vulnerable. And, you know, we saw a few of those late in game one, but this has been much cleaner for NRG. They've really given KCP very little to work with. Maybe the one or two demo plays that KCP have attempted, and you know, these lingering moments where they stay in the final third and make passing options available. But NRG have had an answer to everything, and again, Justin's there, and he's able to buy the perfect amount of time for Squishy to come help him. Rapid now to the back wall. Of course, NRG have got someone there as well. Difficult to find a way through for KCP.
Rapid's going to try it. He does end up colliding into Justin's car. That will slow him down. KCP with their first prolonged offense, and that's not a good clear off the post. And Justin has got away with one.
Yeah, that was the moment right there. KCP, you know, in the last game, they were having to just hope for NRG to make mistakes and fumble saves at the very end of the game. It didn't happen. That was really their chance. That could have been a goal. It was an open top right-hand corner of the net. Unfortunately, the post is all they got. Now with a minute remaining, KCP posturing aggressively again. Rapids the first to the ball, and my goodness, he got there fast. And he does do as his name would suggest, when his team needs him to.
Just a thing of beauty from Rapids. And this is improved here from KCP. I feel like NRG did a great job maintaining pace and momentum, but KCP have not been deterred, as they are going to find themselves in a bit of trouble. In comes Squishy, doubles up.
And it was a heroic save from Beast Mode to try and keep his team in this one. But unfortunately, Rapid and Memory have both taken far too long to rotate back. They both went for boost. Nobody came back to help Beast Mode out. And Squishy's first on the scene again puts in a goal for NRG. That's his second of the game. Clinical finishing from him. And you compare that to KCP's effort earlier on, which wasn't quite good enough. So it's NRG ahead again, deservedly so.
Just the constant sucker punches that have been happening to KCP. They got caught with one in the opening 10 seconds of the series. They spent so long trying to get themselves back into this game, and then immediately from the kickoff, still gone downhill yet again. 25 seconds left here in game number 2. And work for KCP to do, but just see Justin backing off, letting the play come to him. NRG very patient in this series so far. Will they reap the rewards with another goal? They need to, as Garrett back to the corner. KCP have got to get a challenge in very quickly. They need control of the ball. Good pop over the side, but Squishy immediately shuts down that option. So all eyes go to Beast Mode. Wasn't the best touch from him. Instead, Justin will look to guide it to the floor. NRG 2-0 up.
Yeah, there's quality from NRG again. Maybe a little bit of a mistake for the goal they've conceded again. So they have had chances to keep clean sheets in both these games. But a win is a win, and NRG have gotten both of them so far. Great reset as well for NRG. They lost their lead, went into a tie game situation, and they had the better kickoff lined up. It was a fairly even kickoff, but NRG were the ones who played the ball. KCP went for boost with their player who played the kickoff itself and their player who was cheating up behind him. It's not really something you want to do. You want to have at least one of those players running back to goal as quickly as possible to support your goalkeeper, who, you know, did make a heroic save. Beast Mode did all you could ask from him in this position. He got the save on the initial shot, but unfortunately the rotations from his teammates were not fast enough. Rapid in particular, he could have turned around and gone straight back to net, and we might have an overtime in this game.
So one thing I want to talk to you right now about NRG, which has just been so impressive this series, is just how relaxed they seem to be during defensive situations. It feels like KCP is expecting them to be so quick, and instead, not really happening. They just sit there waiting for them. You spoke an awful lot, Johnny, during the beginning parts of the season about NRG's crisis management. When things go wrong, more things go wrong.
Yeah.
How have you seen them develop that? As we see Justin, they've beat their record.
Wow.
Game 1, it was 10 seconds. This one was 5.
Yeah, that is unbelievable by Justin. What a read, and I gotta give full credit as well to Squishy for that pass, because he's the player who played the kickoff. He's the one who's not got much boost in that position, but he managed to just fling that up onto the back wall in the perfect position.
Oh, problem.
Yeah, it is a recurring problem. It looks like NRG have got great plans on the kickoffs. They're following up on each other's plays very quickly here, and KCP, after every single reset, they're having to just defend against a very tough shot. It's not ideal for them. To answer your previous question, though, you just got to give full credit to NRG's development. I mean, they used to tilt after one thing would go wrong, whether it be a 50-50 or a double commit or something like this. The whole series would just completely change its direction. But these days, that doesn't happen. It's not happened for a long time for NRG. They are much more consistent, and they're much better at dealing with unideal scenarios, which are inevitably develop in 3v3.
So far, I don't think there's too many situations they've been put in so far this series that they would consider a crisis. Just relying on one another. Really trusting that the challenge will come through and that the defender will make the correct decision. Squishy scored 2 in the last game. Looks to try and provide something here, but won't be able to. And gets double devil! NRG! Well, won't certainly be accused of being a boring team. They are showing a variety of different ways of picking your team apart.
Yeah, Garrett just took everything from KCP there. Back corner boost and then double demo as well. This is just a new look for NRG. The aggression in the final third, taking many different forms. Garrett is on a rampage. He's just got another demo. And notice that all of these demos are ambush challenges. He's coming from behind. He's actually going for another one here. He was looking for memory again.
Well, I don't know what the demo record is. I don't think we're going to see it here, but Garrett showing that he is not to be trifled with. He's got another one, beast mode. I would start running if I was you.
I'm loving it. I think for a long time, NRG were slightly predictable because they would just always play the ball in the final third. They were trying to play a very clean, outplay-focused style, but they're mixing it up a lot today. They've had the ground plays, they've had the ball control every now and then just to try and bait KCP forward. We're seeing the demo plays and the boost steals coming in now. It's very hard to predict exactly what NRG are going to do at any given moment in this game. And again, it's just a great development for them, not just mentally, but in terms of their game plan. They look like a more complete team than ever.
Well, you talk about game plan there, and something I'm really, really liking for what I'm seeing, because it feels like, despite the fact that they are doing really well, they've made another great adjustment to their game plan as this hops straight into the middle of the field. You know, they've seen so often here that KCP have not been able to get NRG to get all 3 players involved in the rotation. You know, we've seen a lot of times NRG with their, back player just sitting around, they're waiting for whatever's going to come forward, usually not needed. So we can just rely on the 2v2 as Beast Mode gets a challenge, and it does drop to Rapid. That's what they needed. And KCP are in this again.
Oh, that's huge from Beast Mode. Look at how he manages to just control that 50-50. Squishy was diving in, trying to get a volatile challenge, just anything that would bounce off to the sides or away from the goal in general, but Beast Mode has neutralized it, and he's even managed to deflect it towards Rapids, who was supporting him on the right-hand side. Brilliant from Beast Mode. Last game, he made a heroic effort and didn't have the support. This time he makes one, and he's got back up.
Even better for them, they can get the goal back, and they can play it afterwards instead of immediately losing their newfound advantage from the kickoff. As Justin, well, this might not last too much longer if you let Justin have this sort of space. What a save!
Yeah, we had a pre-jump save at the near post, and Justin slowed down the shot to avoid it, and in doing so, gave the second defender time to make the save. So great team play there in defense from KCP. The faster blocking attempt to the near post gave the second goalkeeper more time to see what they need to do.
He's going to drop out to Beast Mode. He's got a bit of time, but he's not got any boost to work with. Justin, reset. Garrett still looking for demos. was on the same team, I believe, of the only triple demo. Actually, no, it was Fireburner that did the same.
Yeah.
The only triple demo I've ever seen is Justin right through the middle, and he's managed to snipe the gap.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to third man here. Oh dear, Memory has just completely forgotten where he's going. He ended up autopiloting towards the play in the corner here, leaving the net wide open, leaving the path to the net completely unprotected as well. And that's a bit of a letdown for KCP. They've held on. It really has just been all about that, holding on to the scoreline for as long as they can. NRG threatening goal after goal, shot after shot. KCP did so well to equalize under so much pressure, but now a very cheap goal, and NRG lead with very little time remaining. It's a wonder goal from Garrett G. And, you know, KCP might be able to look at the last one they conceded and say, we could have done something about that. This one, yep, there's nothing you're doing about that one, guys. That's just going in, whether you like it or not.
Okay, the Justin goal or the Garrett goal we just saw. Which one?
Oh, I think it's got to be the Garrett goal. That's unreal. The Justin goal, KCP at least saw what was happening before it happened. The Garrett one, they didn't even have a clue. They had no idea he was about to shoot that. It was beyond imagination.
Garrett adding to his repertoire of just incredible improvisation goals. Everyone will always know that one from Season 5 off the ceiling. You can add that one as another phenomenal one that he scored. And it'll go down as a phenomenal performance as well from NRG. They have got this done in a sweep. KCP will be playing G2 tomorrow. NRG have taken the entire group and they've gone 4-0.
Yeah, this is a tough group as well. NRG winning 12 games in a row to close out this group. They lost their opening game. They lost their opening game to Stromboli, who are the underdog team, the team who have finished last place in the group. They lost their opening game to Alraz, Shadow, and Kinsei. And since then, they've swept. Well, they won the next 3 games. They beat Oxygen Esports, which is the new roster for Jamal Jabari, a super dangerous team who NRG have struggled against in the past. And now they've also beaten PK and KCP, who are teams who have punched up a lot in RLCS Season X. So perfect from NRG in the group stage. They are the team to beat right now.
Absolutely, and they will be one of the teams that if you weren't already looking out for, absolutely, we will expect to see a team like this in the grand finals. But before we move on, we need to take a look at our Verizon 5G Speed Shot Challenge. We've got 3 more plays for you all to see which one we are going to be sending through to Sunday's final. You're going to have a chance in the chat, #1, #2, or #3. Get a vote on which one we are sending on. Here's our first one, though, from War Machine. Proving efficiency is always worthwhile. Maybe taking a couple of cues from Garrett as well. Get themselves the demo, get themselves the double tap, and get themselves onto our list.
Yeah, to pull this off with only 46 boosts in the takeoff is very, very impressive. You got to pay attention to that number in the bottom right corner. Yeah, already a high standard being set in the opening shot, but will this one beat it? We saw a pretty wicked pinch earlier on in the show, but this one a bit more lateral. Look at this setup from Mighty Egg there, just actually flipping the ball straight back in field to his teammate.
Now, if you want pinch shots, here's one more for you. Stuck in a little bit of a tough situation, but how about we sort it out nice and simply? Blast the ball to the other side of the field.
Never had one of those. I really want one. This is a shot that has evaded me. I mean, the team pinches, the floor pinches, you get more chances to do that, but this really is special. Not often you get even the opportunity to pull off something like this. Defense to offense in the blink of an eye.
So it's not hashtags, by the way. Just put the number of the play that you think deserves to move on through to Sunday's finals. I'm looking forward to seeing which one you all at home have decided to put on. And yeah, that is us done here. When we come back from break, we're going to have our 4th match of the day as version 1 take on the Peeps.